All right, next item on the agenda, 7I, report regarding Environmental Protection Agency EPA regulation and control of lead and copper in municipal drinking water. Mayor Pro Tem Moon.
As we've already spoke, I know we're on top of it. Do appreciate our water department being on top of it, but I want our citizens to be reassured our water is fine. So the reason for the report.
Well, in fact, Nancy Faisal is here tonight. If you could hand out the water quality report. This is a report we're required by EPA and TCEQ to put out every July. And our 2015 report will be coming out in July of this year. I gave a similar report, I think, back in January with the water quality report.
I got that in the mail.
And it lists, and you have a copy in your packet, the maximum contaminant level, MCL, for lead and copper. And if you look at that, you can see we're very, very low below the maximum allowable by the EPA. And I kind of gave you a summary in the packet of what we felt has happened and what we have heard, what we understand from our own treatment process, and reading, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Even the media, when I pulled up some of the information about Flint, Michigan, some of it would say this, some would say that, and didn't necessarily match. So CNN wasn't necessarily the same as what Fox was, and it wasn't necessarily the same as the local newspaper in Flint was. But we did put a summary in your packet of basically what's happened in Flint. The biggest issue was when they converted over to Flint River, the Flint River. It's a very corrosive water, and that started a chain of events. And if we need to get more technical, I'll get Nancy to explain what events happened. But we, according to EPA regulations, not suggestions, their regulations specifically state you use a corrosion inhibitor. And that's what it's for. That's to coat the pipelining to keep lead, any kind of lead that might be in your system, from leaching into your water supply. OLED services, lead solder, lead meters, lead in some of the old meters. And so that's what we do, and they didn't do. That was the main problem that started what happened. So if you want the technical version, I'll let Nancy give it to you. But what it boiled down, it really boiled down to the fact they did not use the corrosion inhibitor and stripped it off basically in the process of some other problems. And that's what leached out the lead. All cities are required to use the corrosion inhibitor, and that's what keeps it all at bay. We started testing according to the EPA guidelines in 1992, and at first run, they required us to test 60 sites every 3 years around the city. In fact, 2016 is our test year, our third year, so we have to test in 2016. And then 1996, it was reduced from 60 to 30 because our levels were so low and we tested so well. And as you can see from the water quality report, we're still testing very well.
Good.
So the corrosion inhibitor is doing its job. And
well, how did Flint, you say it was a requirement?
Yes, ma'am.
How did they not, if they were required to do it, how did they get around not doing it?
That's where all the media report is coming in. It's a combination of Flint, the city of Flint themselves, the state EPA folks, even the governor's office is rumored to have known about what was going on. They just stopped doing it.
But it was a requirement. Requirement must,
I
mean, in my terms.
Well, from what we're reading from the news reports, it was a money issue. And the reason they actually stopped buying water from Detroit was because of the money issue. They were buying treated water from Detroit, and they were paying a premium for it. At the same time, the state of Michigan was laying a new water line from Lake Huron to Flint, to serve Flint, so they could get off the Detroit water. Well, they got impatient and said, hey, we've already been, we used to get water from Flint River. It's free. All we got to do is turn the pipe back on, and we can tell Detroit to take their water somewhere else. And they say it seemed like it was all a money savings issue.
So at the end of the day, our citizens have nothing to worry about with regards to that.
No,
We say.
Awesome.